Sean, give us the real news.
Good afternoon, guys, wherever you're coming from, wherever you're watching us from. This is an update on the news. What's really happening in my speculation, from the 5th of March 2024. So just as a backdrop to this video, guys, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Just as a backdrop to this video, things in Ukraine are, they're absolutely critical. I think there's going to be a big push from the Russians as soon as this election's over. The Russian election, remember, is going to be held it's going to be held on the 15th to the 17th. There's going to be like 3 days of voting. The situation in the Red Sea, again, it's critical. There's ships being sunk now, The Red Sea cables have been cut. It's come out, it's official now, and that's why that's why everybody's internet's been going down and been going slow. So all these things are just, moving towards this cauldron of, absolute insanity that we're living in. And what I want to give you guys now, for wherever you are in the world watching, please let me know in the comments below. This is my own personal opinion from just from being out and about and speaking to people on the street. I get a strong sense of, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to use anger, but I don't think anger is the right word. A solace. I think there's a strong sense of solace, around people. And people have just, especially in the UK, the people I know, they seem to have lost faith and lost trust in their government. Now, there's an outbreak of measles going around in the UK. And what we're finding is, we did a video on this on our other platform, and the link's in the bio. But we did a video on this on our other platform, and a lot of people are coming back and saying, there's a lot of vaccine hesitancy. Now, we all know why that is. It's because, the government said to us, years ago now, that you have to go and take certain medical procedures. And there was a lot of people who were saying, no, I don't think that's fair. I don't feel like I need this medical intervention. But they were bullied into it. They were made to have that. And now it's come out that actually, if you look into it, there's evidence that says it wasn't as effective as it was initially thought to be. And remember, it's one of these things where, everybody looks at these things and they all say, oh, no, that's not right. And then you get called, you get called names, you get ostracized, and then months later, people are saying, "Oh yeah, well, actually, yeah, that was right." But there's no vindication for this. And I do feel this is around the world. I do feel most governments are losing control of their populations, because nobody seems to care anymore about the. There seems to be this, this sense that nobody's looking out for them and everybody's out for their own. But I feel it's probably come at the worst time in humanity, with the conflict that's looming and all the bad stuff that's happening around the world. This loss of faith as well. I really don't see it ending well with this loss of faith. But guys, that is just what I think. That's my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. So what we're going to do a little bit different today, guys. Me and Sarah are going to have a little bit of a back and forth. Sarah's going to ask me some questions that have been asked on our other platform, because we want to get this cross-pollination, and we want people to be talking on this platform that do on our others, because we can have a more adult conversation on here, and we can talk about a wider range of topics.
Okay.
Davai.
I have a few friends in Romania and Bulgaria, and they have said there's a large US military presence in both countries. What's your opinion?
Yeah, so the US military, when this conflict happened in Ukraine, the US military, it's got bases everywhere. It's the US empire. They've obviously gone and deployed their soldiers now in these areas. I still think that Poland is key. And I'm going to go another one on this, guys, as well. I'm going to say this, and it's quite a bold comment. I don't think any US troops will be, there'll probably be special forces deployed, but I don't see a large US military deployment in Eastern Europe. I feel this is a European problem, and it's going to be dealt by the Europeans, and it's going to be led by the UK. Hang on.
Sorry.
Sorry, no, let me finish. So what I feel is going to happen, you know, and I've said this many times, I feel there's going to be this divergence now between US and the UK and the rest of NATO as such. So I feel the US will put all their eggs in the basket in the Red Sea, with Iran, and then potentially looking at a conflict with China. Whereas the Europeans, you know, we need to deal with this problem of the Russians. So large US forces building up in and around in the bordering countries to Ukraine. I don't think they're going to cross the border, unfortunately. If you're a US soldier and you're wanting to, you know, get in amongst the action, I feel the troops that will be deployed to Ukraine, you know, and I've said this on our other platform quite a few times, are going to be NATO troops. And I think, you know, this is just my feeling, I think they're going to be led by Poland. Poland's the bordering country, you know, it's got the biggest threat, it's got the biggest claim. It's, you know, I think Poland is also the only place that can build, it's the only country outside the US, obviously, that can build, what's the attack? I think US helicopters, I'm not sure which one, but yeah. So I do feel Poland's going to be key. I don't think US troops are going to be, I may be wrong, but I don't think US troops in significant numbers are going to be deployed into Ukraine. I think that's going to be kept for the Europeans to deal with.
Okay, Sean, is the peacekeeping forces in Gaza?
No, there's no peacekeeping forces in Gaza. I mean, Gaza it's an absolute, how do you well, I mean, there's a huge media blackout on what is actually happening in Gaza. So, you know, the reality is I don't think anyone knows. You know, so what we're told from, you know, alternative media sources is that the Gazans are getting, you know, airstrikes after airstrikes after airstrikes. The US are doing humanitarian aid airdrops, but no, there's no peacekeeping. There's no peacekeeping forces in Gaza. I know that as I understand, the Israelis sent a convoy in there with humanitarian aid. It went very bad, and there was rounds fired, but you know, yeah, so that's what's happening basically. It's a media blackout and it's controlled heavily by the Israelis, you know, and I feel that, you know, as this gets further and further on, I think people are gonna start questioning the tactics of the Israelis. I don't know, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Okay, Sean, and have you personally prepared, as in bulking up on food and water? Yeah,
I mean, we're getting asked this quite a lot, and it's not really an industry like it is in the US. Being prepared. I mean, I'm a veteran, I guess. So I've always had 3-6 months food in the cellar. Sorry, that's gone. Yeah, so yes, in a straight answer, we do. We have food, water, and gas that can last our family for like 3 months, probably more than 3 months if you want to stretch it out. But yeah, and I would recommend everybody to do this just as, you know, practice. But start with water. If you live in the UK or another European city that's, you know, densely populated, the chances of you going out, and a lot of other people are getting on this now, actually. I saw a video on YouTube yesterday, I think, about one of these bigger channels now. They're all saying what I said, basically, a couple of, like, when I first started these channels. I said, nobody is going into the woods, making fires, and trying to hunt, trying to forage. It's just not going to happen, okay? Main things that you're going to need in the UK is water, because the UK water supply is ridiculously vulnerable and it's fragile. So in the UK, if you're thinking about, you know, you're looking at these conflicts that are happening, guys, just get water. Nobody in the UK is going to starve, but there will be water shortages and associated problems with that, and price hikes, obviously.
How much water per person per day, Sean?
Every day we get this question, guys. Every day we get this question. I should write it down and have it behind me. 3 litres per person per day, nothing else. Work off that, okay? That's for cooking, cleaning, and obviously consumption. And, you know, you think, oh, that's not much water. Guys, you think, oh, I'm not going to drink 3 litres a day. I only have a couple of glasses. Yeah, but when you think about, you need to wash, you need to clean, you need to, you need to cook your food. 3 litres per person per day is not much at all, you know. And I always tell people the time when I was stuck in Syria, and I had 2 litres of water. And yes, okay, I knew in myself that I could last 3 days without water. But honestly, a couple of hours of drinking water, a couple of hours, that water bottle was gone. And then the psychological problems I had with no water, it was absolutely, it was terrifying, guys, right? And put yourself in that situation. If you're in the UK or wherever, you live in a block of flats, you live in the countryside, doesn't really matter. If you've got no water and your kids are coming up to you saying, "Mummy, Daddy, I'm thirsty," that's gonna be ridiculously hard to deal with, especially when right now you can go and fill some bottles of water on them up and put them in the cellar, put them in the basement, put them wherever you need, all right? Just have something there to, just something to drink. And I always say this, guys, okay? Water, water, water. It's the biggest threat in the UK, not food shortages. Are we good? Are we going to leave it there?
We are, yeah.
We're going to leave it there, guys. Guys, we've done a little bit of a to and fro with Sarah. Let me know in the comments how you feel with this, that format is. We're still finding our feet with YouTube, but we want to make this channel as successful as our other one, guys. So don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Turn it off!